Welcome back to SQL with Ravimartha. A big thank you to all of you who have subscribed my channel, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and tap the bell icon. Today I have come up with a couple of tricky case statement interview questions. Let's check it out. So here is the first question. What is the output of below query? So here is a table TBL employee and we are trying to run a select statement with a case statement. So select case when department equal to 3, then mark it as 6 and end the case statement from TBL employee. So when we run this select statement, is this the same output we get? Let's check it out. Question number 2. What is the output of the below query? So here is the same employee table and we are trying to run the update statement. We are trying to modify the department 3 to 6 and this is the output. Is this output correct? Moving on to the question number 3. What is the output of below query? So the same TBL employee table and we are trying to evaluate a case statement. So what it says is when salary is greater than 10,000 we want to print greater than 10,000. When it is greater than 11,000 we want to print greater than 11,000, so on. And if it is not matching with these case statements, then we want to print less than or equal to 10k from the TBL employee table. So what is the output which is expected? And the fourth question is what is the output of below query? Here we are assigning the value 1 to this variable and we are running a select statement. So select case when this variable is equal to 1, then print 1, else max of the 1 by 0 and ending the case statement. So what is the output of this particular query? Let's check it out through SSMS. So for the demonstration, I'm using the TBL employee table. So I'm running this table. The data got loaded here. So we will use all this TBL employee data for all these demonstrations. Let's look at the first question. What is the output of below query? So let me run these together. So this is a statement as is statement and this is the modify statement using the case. So here there are 4 records for the employee and we are trying to modify the department 3 to 6. So for the John record, the department ID 3 was correctly modified to 6. However, the records 1, 2 and 3 are evaluated to null because this is the actual behavior because we didn't say anything to the case statement for the rest of the records. So it has evaluated by default to null. So how we can get rid of this problem? So the easy solution is to use the else class for sure. So I'm adding the else class before ending the case statement else. So I want to retain the existing department for that particular record. So let me run it together now. When I run this, so it has modified the department 3 to 6 and it has retained the old department for the rest of the rows. So it is very crucial that we use the else statement in the case while using the case. So we should be very careful in this regard. So moving on to the second question, what is the output of the below query? So basically we are trying to do the update for the department 3 and mark it as 6. So it is similar to the first question. Let's check it out. So I'm selecting the table, running the update and selecting back again. So in this case, the rows 3 got updated, the department 3 got updated to 6. That is correct. But the rest of the rows are updated to null because it is not being evaluated. So by default, the SQL server, it will evaluate to null. It is pretty much similar as the first statement. So how can we get rid of this problem? So let me reload the table again. So the table got loaded. The solution 1 is that we can use the else class. So I'm using the else retain the existing department. So let's run it again. Let's see how it comes out to be. So for the department 3, it got updated to 6 and it has retained the same department similar to the first select. That's it. So let's move to the second one. So in the second solution, we are trying to restrict the number of rows affected to the department 3 alone so that there will not be any impact to the target. So let's reload this table again and run this update statement. So it is correctly updated now because the number of rows are affected are restricted to only department 3. So essentially using the else class or restricting the number of rows affecting would solve the issue. That's it. So moving on to the question number 3, what is the output of the below query? So let's run it together. So here is the employee table, and what is the output? So the first record comes out to be less than or equal to 10k, and the rest of the records are evaluated to greater than 10,000 only. This is because the order of the when class, right? The prioritization was given wrong. So let's quickly see how it is evaluated to the below result. Let's take the first result, the first record, the 10,000. So the salary 10,000 is greater than 10,000. That's false. It's the second condition is also false. 10,000 is not greater than 11,000. 10,000 is not greater than 12 and 13 as well. So it has gone to the else class and printed less than or equal to 10k, right? After picking the second record, right, 11,500, it has moved to the evaluating the first class. So 11,500 greater than 10,000, yes, true. So it has printed the first one greater than 10,000. Similarly, the case for 12,500 as well. So the 12,500 is greater than 10,000, so it has printed the same thing. The same case for the 13,500 as well. So how we can get rid of these kind of issues? So we have to prioritize the when classes accordingly. If it is having the high priority, you should move it on the top. So it should be evaluated first. As soon as the first when condition is matched, so it will exit the execution. So what is the solution for this? So we should prioritize accordingly and move it onto the top for the first evaluation. So let's see if so here what I have done is like I have moved the salary 13,000 on the top, then 12,000, then 11,000, 10,000, and the else class. So let's see if it solves our problem. Right, the first salary, which is 10,000, it's it's not greater than any of the above values, so it has printed the else class, and the next one, the second row 11,500 is not greater than 13,000, not greater than 12,000, not so it's greater than 11,000, so it has printed 11. Similarly, the same case for 13,000. So the second condition got true and the greater than 12,000 was printed here. Similarly, for the 13,500, it has printed the first condition got satisfied and it has printed greater than 13,000. So it is essential that we should prioritize accordingly before the applying the when class, right? So this is one of the key thing while reviewing the code. Yeah, moving on to the fourth question. What is the output of the below query? So here I have a variable and I have assigned value 1 to this variable and I am running a select statement. Let's see what is the output of this query. So it says division by 0 error. Why it is? So basically we are assigning the value 1 to the input variable and it should be 1 equal to 1 and it should be ideally evaluating to 1, but it has not evaluated. Whenever there is a function in the when clause or the else clause, it will try to evaluate that first and then execute the actual case statement. So that's how we have encountered this particular error, right? So what happens if the function is outside the case, right? Let's check it out. So I'm just uncommenting this code. Let me comment this and run it all together. So here the first statement, so it got assigned as 1 equal to 1, then it has printed 1 and max of 1 is 1. So that's how it worked. That's it. So here is the summary slide. Let's recap what we have learned today. So when using the case statement, else clause is very crucial. The second one is when running the update statement, we should use the else clause for sure, else whatever the records which are not matching the when condition will be evaluated to null. It would mess up your data. So this is the same case. If it is not matching the any of the case, it will evaluate as null. So in this case, the first case when statement is matching, then it will exit the evaluation and it comes out of the execution. So the first satisfied when clause will win. And the last one is if there is any function in the case statement, it will try to evaluate that first before executing the actual case statement. So here is my blog details. I will have the text version of this video available on my blog. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Thank you.